Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World, and today we're at the Westin Playa Bonita here in Panama City. And today we're going to talk about what you should know if you're going to stay here when you come to Panama. Let's go inside. So first things first, before you come, make sure you print out your confirmation or have it available, because they will check to make sure you actually do have a reservation or at least a reservation number when you come into the compound. Otherwise, you might have trouble getting in. So have that ready, because it just takes a little bit longer. Once you come in, they'll drop you off at the front. You'll come in right behind me, right through there. And on the side, it's a check-in desk. I will tell you, check-in will take a while. Even if there's only one person in front of you, it will take a while. I had a line of people before us. I think they had 2 desks open for people at 3 o'clock. And it took about 20 minutes to get through. I mean, the people are very friendly, but they got to photocopy your passport, do all those things. So check-in takes a while, so do be aware of that. But they were very friendly, very nice. Though I did not really get any information at all about what was available. Like, is there a thing that would tell me what all the different restaurants are? Is there things that tell me about the things that are going on? No, there was none of that information was shared. So you really have to do your own when you come here to figure out which restaurant's right for you. Starfish Grill, if you want to just go have a buffet and seafood, or the Soleil, that's a bar kind of thing, or when the thing's open. I mean, they do have signs that are out there, but you want to kind of do your research beforehand, because otherwise you're kind of trying to figure out what you can eat at which time. So do know that's on you. So be aware of that. Now, in terms of the amenities that are here, look, they've got 3 really good pools. We've had a good time swimming in there. When you get this kind of view, and what's cool is when you're out there, you actually see the ships. You can see in the distance, you'll see the ships lined up to go down the Panama Canal, because it's just right down the way, which means when you go to the beach, sometimes you go, oh, should I go on the beach? Because it looks, with all these ships going by, I mean, you can go in the water, it's okay. But you'll notice how far it'll go out when the tide is low versus the tide is high. That's kind of a cool thing to have, that kind of difference that's there. Now, in terms of activities during the day, they are nice. They do put in the elevators. There are signs in today's activities, and they do have a lot. There's water aerobics, there's stretching, there's a couple dance classes, there's karaoke. So they do have things going on, which is nice. They do have that in the elevator, which is cool. But honestly, when you're here, what you're going to do is basically the pools or go to the beach, which is right there. You can do that. They have a few activities you can do when you are on the beach, which is nice. So there's a kayak thing in the evening. Sometimes you can do that. So that is kind of cool. I will say overall, in terms of the food options, I mean, there are a number of restaurants. They're not all open all the time. But I think what my son and I have found was the best bet was just to order room service, which we never do. But this one was so much that we couldn't figure out which restaurant we wanted to go to, or when they were open, or if it was a buffet or not a buffet, because it wasn't really laid out. So we just actually ordered through room service, which the price for room service weren't that bad. So I was like, okay. And we literally got all kinds of stuff. But I will say, if you get the Panamanian specialties, those are actually pretty good. We got the ceviche, we got the Panamanian special, which has the little empanadas and the yuca and stuff. Those were good. The pizza, if your kids miss pizza from home, think DiGiorno pizza. It was decent. They had that. Make sure if you do order your hamburger, because they wanted a hamburger, you do get it above medium, because medium's not really cooked. It's more like raw. So you might want to go for a well done or 3/4 burger. I will say, when you do call, it's very important that you at least try to speak some Spanish when you order your food. If you do go through room service. My Spanish is okay, so we had no problems, but I can see how it could be an issue. You also notice this is a very popular hotel for conferences. There's a LATAM conference going on right now here while we're here, because this is a conference place. It's a big hotel, so they can have a lot of people. There's a lot of conference spaces that are here, so you have that. When you go to your rooms, you can just take the elevator. You don't have to tap in or anything to go up, which is cool. But I will say, sometimes when there's a lot of people with the conference going on, sometimes a little time just to get to your room, but no big deal that way. In terms of the room, well, I'll show you the room upstairs, so I'll talk about that. But I wanted to give you kind of this background before you kind of get here. Also, there is, if you want to sign up for tours, there is a tour agency here. However, it's now 9:45 in the morning. They've said we'll be back at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, and that's been up there since I don't know how many days, so I don't know if they're actually ever there, which is kind of disappointing. They do give you QR codes that you can sign up for some of the tours, but not all of the tours, so that's kind of annoying. But anyway, there is that there. So hopefully they'll show up sometime today, because they weren't there yesterday either, so I can kind of sign up. So there is that. So let's go see the room. So here we are in a room, and we have 2 luxurious queen beds. I'll be honest with you, we slept very well, though the bedding in there doesn't really fit the bed, so it comes out underneath. So if you're one of those people that gets your feet get caught up in the sheets. That might happen a few times when you are here. Just be aware of it. But overall, the beds are pretty comfortable, and for being a conference hotel with a lot of turnover, the beds are in pretty good shape, so I'm happy with that. In terms of room itself, it literally has everything you have at your typical Marriott or any chain hotel you've ever been into in the US, because this is mostly for US travelers watching this. The 2 beds, you have a flat screen TV. I will say the flat screen TV does have English channels, so you can watch Warner Brothers channels, Sony channels, so you can have English language programming. So in the evening time, if you just want to chill out, you can do that. That's helpful. In terms of the room itself, for the amenities, you do have a little desk area. Internet, I'm sure I'll talk about this before, but the internet, you're not getting a lot of speed, okay? But it does work. You can do that. You can stream. We've actually been streaming to the TV through Liam's phone, so that's been nice to watch programming that way if we want to do that. In terms of sitting area, there's just one chair, a little kind of table there, but you do have a balcony, and the balcony is great. I'm sure I'll talk about the balcony and the views that are out there, and you can see the ships going by, but that's kind of cool. Now, if you're in here in the room, what you'll notice is there's actually like a window in the bathroom. You think, oh, you can watch the sunset while you're in the bathtub, or I can watch people poop. I don't know, but actually that's all frosted over, so you can't actually see anything in there anyway. But it is kind of funny how that is there. In terms of the room, water pressure, shower worked fine. It's a rain shower that comes down on there. So if you're trying to get off the sand or the shells, which is more the beach are there, it takes a little bit of effort. So I suggest washing off and showering off when you're by the pool. Outside, they have showers there to do that. See, bathroom is separate, toilet's separate in there. You do have those things, shower, full bathtub. One thing I would say is that when you want to get hot water, maybe it'll take a little bit of time, but that's a normal kind of thing when you're here. Did have shampoo, conditioner, soap. You have that's included with it. Had towels for the 2 of us. If you have more people, I would ask for more towels. They do room service cleaning services every day, so you can tell them if you don't want to. There's that. If you are having them clean, leave a little tip for them on the bed or on somewhere they can see that's a tip that's for them. Remember, it's US dollars here in Panama, so a little $5. You're good to go, so you have that. One thing I will say, you will probably use a room to eat because the restaurants, it's hit and miss when they're there. It is nice, they do have in the elevator, it has which restaurants are open at which times, especially here in low season when not everything is open. So that can be helpful. So we've actually done a lot of room service when you're here, and that's been fine. I'm actually ordered room service for lunch today because the stuff that was available at the restaurant that was open really wasn't something we wanted, and so I'm just going to order from the menu and it'll get here. And it's actually been very quick. I'll be honest with you, they tell you 30 minutes. It's never been more than 15 minutes till we've got our food, so that's kind of cool that way. In general, how it is kept up, the place is clean. For as many people as to go through here, I mean, there's been some issues, like some of the ceiling fell off, but they got that cleaned up right away. But honestly, I mean, I'm happy with the cleanliness here. There are some other things that when you are here, if you want to get into town, make sure you're arranging transportation and let them know so they let in your person, because they do have a gate that says if you can come in or not, but that's a typical thing. I mean, it's not because you're a bad person or whatever, just they need to know. So you have that. They can arrange rides for you if you need to get to the airport or whatever. They do not have a shuttle here. So if you're thinking there's a shuttle from the airport to bring you here, there is not. But they'll gladly set one up for you that you get to pay for. So I guess I'd say there is a shuttle, but you're paying for it, so you might as well just do an Uber, probably a little bit cheaper. I will say if you get it, we flew in, we got in about 2 o'clock. And we took an Uber in, took about 45 minutes to get here. We got the Uber XL and it was like, I don't know, $45 to get here with Uber. Just so you have an idea. I want to say just in general, when you come to Panama, Panama is not your cheap, affordable Central America. Panama is the most expensive one. US dollar is the currency here. I mean, but use US dollars. The coins will be different, so be aware of that. So if you come, make sure you're bringing small bills for tipping, stuff like that. But we have a video on the don'ts in Panama to help you travel with those things. But yeah, the room itself is fine. We've enjoyed our stay in the room. It's very relaxing. I will say their blackout shutters are incredible because it really does black everything out, so you can really sleep well here. If you want to get adjoining rooms, make sure you let them know because they do have adjoining rooms. If you got a family and lots of kids, you can do that. No guarantees you can get it though, because there was a family that was wondering why they didn't have it. They asked for it, so they were a little bit testy there, but the people were very professional at the desk with them, so that was nice. But yeah, overall the room is fine. I mean, you've got all you need for when you need to go someplace. So let's talk about some other things. Now we have the oceanside view, which is pretty nice. I gotta admit, though you will notice that this is the Panama Canal, so you'll see a bunch of ships that are out there. But you can still go to the beach. It's okay. You can enjoy that. But honestly, it's the pools that really sell the place. When you do come here, good for the family to do things. I would say bring your own playthings for the pool or the beach because there's nothing here in their shop. They do have a shop, but it's more for souvenir buying than it is for anything else. So not a lot of snacks. They got some drinks there, but not a lot of snacks, nothing like to have fun when you're like on the beach or hardly anything there. So if you're going to be coming with your little kids, make sure you bring the bucket, make sure you bring the ball, make sure you bring those things because there's not going to be anything there for you. They do have goggles and stuff, so like little things, but in general, you're just going to enjoy being on the beach. But honestly, the pools are very nice. Talk to the staff on the pool. They were actually probably the nicest staff that I dealt with when I was here. So that's cool. So shout out to the lifeguards for being nice. I want to say that, but honestly, this is why you come. You want to be away from everybody, and you have everything with you. You'll be okay with that because you got the beach here. And honestly, the beach when it was low tide, it goes like way, way, way out there. I mean, it's pretty crazy when you see it at low tide, but it is nice. But yeah, I just want to show you our view from the window, and they do have sides that face to the jungle side, and it does cost more to be on the ocean side, obviously, like every hotel that has an ocean view. But for the extra $20 a night, I think it's worth it. And I will be honest with you, those blackout shutters totally take out all of the light, okay? So you can sleep pretty well when you're here, except when they're doing construction, which starts a little early, but not too early, so just FYI. I probably should mention some issues we did have when we were here to be fully forthcoming with you. I travel a lot in Central America, so things sometimes get my spidey sense going. I'm sure it was nothing, but I did have one of the workers ask me what my room number was because the person I checked in with they needed to talk to them. And I'm like, I only checked in with my 13-year-old son. I'm here with my kid. He's like, what? And I actually went to the front desk with this person to have them ask. And he said something to him I didn't catch. And they're like, no. And they looked at me really weird and like walked off. I'm like, what the hell? So then I walked off. I thought that was really odd. Also, when this cleaning staff was coming through, I left my key in there because we left so they could clean. Left my key in the room. We came down, went back up. The key was gone, and I had to go find them. I'm like, hey, could I get my key back? She's like, what? The key that was in my door. And she did give me my key back. But those are little things that always like make my ears perk. I'm sure it was nothing. I'm sure the guy was just doing his job, checking. There was some weirdo talking to himself. I want to make sure he's legit. Here in Panama, they'll ask you your ID. A lot of places the cops will, but there was that. But then the cleaning staff, she was probably like, hey, don't leave the card in the electrical thing, so she probably just took that out, thought it was hers. Totally a thing, but I thought those were two little incidents I thought was a little interesting. Also, I'm sure I'll get charged for the Coke that was already open in my mini fridge. That actually had kind of crushed over a little bit on the top, like the soda was a little hard on there. So I'm sure I'll get charged for that. I'm not gonna complain about it except here on this video, obviously, but I'm not gonna bring it up at the front desk. But it was just one of those things. I'm like, okay, I got you, but I want to be forthcoming with that. Overall, though, my kid and I had a fun time at the pools. That was really nice. Walking along here, we had a good time walking along the beach. I mean, literally, you were on the beach. And I will tell you, when this goes out, it goes way, way, way out there. So I would say don't forget to bring some water shoes to walk out there. Also, the pelicans. Remember, pelicans are not your friend. They're mean. But they are cool how they dive in and get everything when you're here. So, yeah. Anyway, let's go someplace else in the hotel. So after 3 nights of staying here, what would my advice be? 1, if you want to see Panama City, don't stay here. This is not helpful for that. 2, if you're going to stay here, make sure you have your pools and get your tours signed up beforehand because the tour agency here, obviously I had a tough time ever getting them when they were actually there, so that was tough. So you want to sign up for things on your own. And this is not on the normal tourist will pick you up in Panama City like destination pickup thing. So sometimes you have to go into town to go get picked up for some of the tourists. That's kind of frustrating. In terms of the food options, though there were a lot. Not really impressed when probably the room service was actually the highlight of the food when we were here. In terms of the drinks, the bars were friendly and they were nice. Service overall, it was acceptable. I mean, Panama is not known for having the most excellent service in general, but this one kind of just typical Panama service kind of thing. So don't expect any wows or anything special. In terms of you're going to be driving, if you have your own car, this could be a decent destination if you're going to go explore. Like you're going along the coast, you're going to go to the canal tours kind of on your own, you can do that. But for enjoying Panama City, this is not really worth it. But that's not what this is for. This is a conference hotel that has a lot of pools. So that's kind of a nice thing for that. And I know if you're a Marriott person, you might want to stay here to get your points or whatever, but the price you pay, and you have to realize Panama itself is a lot more expensive than anywhere else in Central America. I don't know if it's really worth it. Would I stay here again? No, I wouldn't stay here again. Liam also said he wouldn't stay here again. So you have a 13-year-old and myself saying that not really worth it. But for what we needed and when we were ordering, we were booking, it was fine. You know, it had the pool so we can just relax and chill. So if you're looking just to relax and chill and not do anything, this is a good place to go. If you got a conference, if you have a conference here, this is really good for conferences. I would say that. So if you've got a conference coming up and they're putting it up here, I would come because they have enough stuff for adults to enjoy and for your conference space. So that's nice. In terms of like the internet, Wi-Fi, it's typical hotel internet and Wi-Fi. It's fine. You can stream stuff, but like big files will take a little bit longer. And it does kick you off enough that it is kind of annoying when you're trying to upload big data. But overall, it was fine. But yeah, like I said, probably won't stay here again, but it was worth it for this one trip because Liam and I got to enjoy some time together, and that was cool. Also, the blackout shutters work fantastically, so you literally don't know what time of day it is, so that was really nice. But the really random noises that were coming out through the day, all the work going on, really made it kind of interesting other times. So, if you want to stay here, I hope this helps. If you don't want to stay here, I hope this helps. Anyway, I wish you all the best. I'll say bye from here at the Westin Playa Bonita, Panama, outside of Panama City. Bye.